Welcome back to the Coily Cold. I am Charnel, and today I wanted to talk a little bit about having fine natural hair that's low density. So, one of the things I recognized on YouTube is there's a very small representation, if any, of women with long, fine, natural, low density hair. So, what I like to do to discover new creators on YouTube is search in type 4 natural hair or type 4C. Even though I'm not a fan of the typing system, it is a way for me to find women who also share a very similar hair texture and pattern as mine. So I usually will search that, and I will filter it so that it gives me an upload date based off of the last week or even the last hour. If I really want to find what's coming out fresh, that's kind of what I do to find fresh new content creators. But the problem is you can find plenty of women with fine natural hair that has long hair, thickness in terms of a high density. Some people, I mean, that's usually what it is. You like, one of my favorites is Obaya Jones. She's one of my favorites. She has fine hair, but her hair's thick, right? So finding someone with long, natural, fine, low density hair is a challenge. But I also saw it as an invitation for more and more of us to be online and to be the representation that maybe someone else is looking for. And I know it can be discouraging. I know it can be kind of messed up because not only did we have to start, or why this natural hair movement sort of birthed itself at least a decade ago, to help women, Black women especially, learn to embrace and take care of our hair as it comes out of our scalp. Not so much that we can't relax or we can't wear wigs, or we can't style our hair any way we want, but just from just for the purpose of learning how to take care of how it comes out of our scalp without making those changes. So not only did it need to be birthed for that, but as it moved along, you notice that there was a lot of people talking about texturism, colorism, and how a lot of brands choose, the looser curl patterns. And I don't care about that as much as probably others do, because that's just the way of the world. What is desirable is what they use to market, because how else are they going to save money, or I mean, not save money, but how else are they going to make money if they don't present an image that you aspire to be? And so it highlights, obviously insecurities, things that we're not really proud of or we haven't fully embraced as our own yet. So, and that's a journey in and of itself. Nobody, in a world where you're constantly being compared to, or a certain beauty standard is held up, it's only natural you're going to go through moments where you question whether or not what God gave you is fine, and whether you're content with it, whether or not, if it stayed that way or whatever, if you'll be happy with it. And that's a journey I think everybody has to go through, men and women. So not only with all of that going on, but then within what was supposed to be a celebration of natural hair, or the celebration of what it means to be a Black woman, you still had, and I guess this shows us that it's human nature to make discriminations. It's human nature. I know that on a wide scale in the mainstream, whiteness is demonized and white people are demonized, because they're racist or whatever. And sure, we all have that history, but it's not really just theirs. It's not a white problem. It's a human problem to form discriminations and make decisions based off of how a way a person looks. We experience that in the Black community. And that really opened my eyes to see that even within the scope of just natural hair, and then you have the natural hair that's thick and voluminous and edges, right? People got edges and it's not just curl pattern, it's even density, right? That's as far, that's as deep as the problem continues to get. And that's, I believe more and more as time goes along, you see that kind of exposed, which is why I partially believe the natural hair community as it was has died. So within the scope of the natural hair content world, I won't say community, I'll just say content world, because I think that's more accurate. You may have kinky hair, you may have type 4 and 4C, the non-desirable texture, God forbid, the one that most people don't really want to have or associate with, unfortunately. I think it's lovely. I would not trade my hair for anybody's. But you have kind of in that it's celebrated if it's thick, if it's long and thick. So where does that leave the girlies and the coilies and the curlies like me who has low density hair and fine hair, where if I put it in a ponytail or even just like a section of my hair would be equivalent, if I made a twist, it would be a mini twist for what will be considered a mini twist for someone with thicker hair. And for that person with thicker hair, their mini twist would still be thicker than the same. We could take the same chunk of a section and they would still have, more volume. So I've been thinking, I'm like, wow, it goes really, really deep, but it doesn't have to be really, really deep. And I find that often we'll complain about issues, we'll complain about what's not being done, but what are you doing about it? And so I feel as a woman with low density, fine natural hair, it gives me the platform and the experience to share that this hair is just as beautiful. I'm not wearing it right now because I'm out of town, and I am also on a protective style challenge where I'm only washing my hair once a month. And right now I'm on week 2 and my hair looks crusty, so I can't wear it out right now. But I love my hair. I even just sat in the mirror in my hotel room and I said, dang, I wish I wore my hair out this weekend. I wish I had just styled it in a twist out or just for a few days, right? It's not like that's going to do any damage to my length retention efforts, but I didn't. So I love my hair, and I embrace it for what God has designed it to be. I wouldn't change it for the world. And I think more of us need to come to that. Hair shouldn't be a matter of changing or wishing you had something else. That's in life in general. We shouldn't be trying to attain certain things because we don't like what is innately us. And I think that's the journey of being a woman. I'm sure that's the journey of being a man as well. I don't know, but they have a little different perspective on beauty standards than women. I think we have been pressured by beauty standards more than men have, but I believe men also have their own level of struggle and insecurities. But I feel like that's why I started the coily code. Granted, it may not stay that way. Like, the coily code is cute, but it's all about natural hair. And I think there's more to life than natural hair, but I find that natural hair is the avenue by which I've been able to connect with other like-minded women such as myself, and find a space where I can really encourage and celebrate you as a woman with fine, low density natural hair. Like, you're not ugly. Your hair's not ugly. Your hair's not undesirable. It absolutely is, because God made it. So why would it not be desirable? Everybody has their preferences. It's okay. Everybody has their preferences, but you don't have to listen to the noise of the world, and the beauty world especially, saying that what you have isn't good enough. So try to thicken your hair. Try to loosen the curl pattern with a texturizer. It's not necessary. I don't think it is. I really believe that women with fine, natural, low density hair are just as beautiful, are just as stunning and fabulous as a girl with luscious locks. We're all beautiful. So I just want to encourage you, just don't want to change having fine, low density natural hair. If you feel led to start a platform, whether it's YouTube, TikTok, Instagram. Just put yourself out there and show people that only if it's real. Don't do it for subscribers or followers, but do it to showcase the beauty and glory of God in your fine, low density natural hair. There's nothing, absolutely nothing wrong with it. The world has completely lied to us, and they keep lying, and it keeps lying, and it keeps lying. But the truth is, there's nothing, literally nothing wrong with having fine, low density natural hair. Nothing wrong. And it's not to put down our sisters and brothers that have thick, long hair. They're beautiful too, and they have their strength. They also have their weaknesses too. I sometimes watch some of these beautiful women with their thick hair, and I'm like, it couldn't be me. Because their hair is so thick, and they're like, so whereas for me, it takes me less than an hour to style my hair in mini twists, or 2 hours at most. But for some of these girls, it takes them 6 hours, maybe a day, a couple days. And so everybody has their trade-offs. I don't think any one person, and I think that's the point. There's not a single person that does not have a struggle when it comes to what they naturally have. We all have I don't want to call it a struggle. I would say it's more of a trade-off. It's like, okay, I love having fine, low density hair, but the trade-off is I don't get as much volume. So knowing that, I need to style my hair in a way that gives it to me if that's what I'm going for. And I'm not going to make my hair do something it doesn't want to do. So it's the same with them with the thicker curly hair, right? Their trade-off is that it takes them longer. They can't just use one ponytail holder, they need to use 2, or they have to split their hair in half. Our sisters who have straight hair, I'm talking about white, Asian, Latino that generally have straight hair. Their trade-off sometimes is that they can't have a style that holds a curl, right? If they did a twist out, it would look like waves, and maybe it would be straight by the end of the day. But at the same time, their hair has an ability to retain length a lot easier than the girls with the the natural textured hair. So we all have trade-offs, and that's why the saying is the grass is always greener, but it's not. Just water your grass and embrace what you have, and make beautiful the garden that is your hair, and let everybody do the same. We don't need to compare. But that's all I wanted to share, and I'm heading out now because I have to go. You guys have a beautiful rest of your day, and I look forward to seeing you guys in the next video. Bye!